Hednesford Town Football Club were founded in 1880 following the amalgamation of two local teams, Red and Whites and Hilltop. Located in Staffordshire, Hednesford is a small market town located 20 miles northwest of Birmingham. It is mainly known for its mining history and acts as a gateway to the area of outstanding natural beauty Cannock Chase. The club quickly became an integral part of the local community and were given the nickname the Pitmen, which originates from the town's mining history, reflecting the working-class roots of both the area and the people. In the early years, Hednesford played at a ground known as the Tins, which was aptly named after the metal sheets that surrounded the pitch at the Anglesey Hotel, now known as Hednesford Lodge. Originally, they played in white shirts and dark blue shorts, with the white shirts still being a long-standing tradition of the club to this day, and during this time football was starting to become an important part of local life.
Lottie, Alexander, Leo Glaze, Leo Langman, and we have Teddy.
Over the early parts of the 20th century, the Pitmen worked their way through regional leagues and were founding members of the Birmingham Combination League, even winning it twice in both the 1909-10 season and the 1950-51 season. Then, towards the latter stages of the century, they won the West Midlands League, gaining promotion to the Football Conference in 1994-95, which is the highest point of the non-league pyramid, and is now known as the Enterprise National League.
Live in the dark. Yeah. Oh, that feels much more like a team now.
No way that to be alright now. Oh Lord, it's mellow.
During the late 1900s, they enjoyed one of their most successful periods in their history, where the Pitmen earned themselves a third-place finish in the Football Conference League and gained national attention during their historic FA Cup run in the 96-97 season. During this golden era for the club, they got themselves to the fourth round of the FA Cup, whilst completing some giant killings along the way. They had managed to get results against teams like Blackpool and York.
Very quiet at the moment. He's in.
Now Russell's away for Hednesford. He's done it! No, it's in the post! And O'Connor has scored for Hednesford Town. Absolute delight from the lads from the Midlands.
Real doubt that Hemsworth had to go. Keith Russell, a painter and decorator, came through his moment of destiny with the winning goal.
Before being drawn to Premier League opposition Middlesbrough at the Riverside Stadium, where they lost 3-2.
The Hednesford free kick suddenly caused panic in the box and Joe O'Connor pounced. The non-leaguers were in dreamland after 15 minutes. and Middlesbrough in a rather embarrassing limbo. Bernard McNally carving out another opening for the dangerous O'Connor. 3-2, and there was barely time left to restart. The lap of honour was noisy and deserved. Even the Borough fans gave them an ovation. It had been a cup day out in the best tradition.
Both goals for Hednesford came from Joe O'Connor, who remains to be a fan favourite to this day, and this game is still regarded as one of the best moments in the club's history despite the loss. Before moving to Keys Park in 1995, they played at the Cross Keys ground, which they had occupied since 1904 and was named after and located directly behind the well-esteemed pub The Cross Keys, which is still heavily frequented by locals and Hednesford fans and remains one of the most historic buildings in Hednesford. Then, in 1995, the club moved to its current home, Keys Park, which was opened by Ballon d'Or winner Sir Stanley Matthews, and marked a new chapter for the club, providing better facilities for both the players and the supporters. In 2004, Hednesford achieved their biggest success in their history by winning the FA Trophy as they defeated Canvey Island 3-2 in the final, which was held at Villa Park. The most significant trophy in the club's history had been secured by a late winner from local lad and captain Chris Brinley.
Maguire in there first, did well. And the shot's a good one, beauty! Wow, what a story!
Who still has a very strong connection to the club and the local area, as he is now manager of the Cross Keys pub next to where the old ground used to be, and it was an honour for him to participate in an interview as part of this documentary and share some of his memories with us. First of all, I would like to thank you for this opportunity for us to come down and interview you. We obviously know who you are, but for the people who don't, could you please introduce yourself?
My name's Chris Brinley. I used to manage for Hednesford. Played 13 years for Hednesford.
What are some of your fondest memories of your time at Hednesford Town?
It's obviously, I made my debut at 16. It was my hometown club, so that was always, it was always meant a lot to me. And I still live in the area all my life, and so to make my debut for Hednesford and play in the first team at 16, I played the youth team for 4 years and then progressed to the first team. And then I moved on. Obviously, I was sold to Wolves and came back later on in my career when I was about 27 and probably played the remainder on and off of my career at Hednesford and went on to manage them, which was great. Obviously, scoring the winning goal in the cup final would probably be the highlight of my career.
You may have already answered this slightly, but what is it that makes Hednesford so special to you?
Well, I think it's like you ask most people, it is my hometown club. I've lived here all my life, I've lived on the same street. Sad that might sound. And so, so it is my club, really. That's, and I think if you ask any, any sportsman or footballer especially, playing for or against your hometown club was special, really.
So we've already touched on this topic, but how did you feel captaining Hednesford and leading them to the FA Trophy in 2004?
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing because we'd had a difficult year that year in the league, and so the trophy, and for a club at our level to win the FA Trophy, it's very, it's very rare, because a lot of the conference or the National League, as it is now, the teams and full-time teams, I think we won 11 or 12. Or we played actually with replays about 12 or 13 games to actually get the final, and we were underdogs in the semi-final. We beat Aldershot, who were 2 leagues above us, home and away. We won the semi-final, and then obviously we were long underdogs in the final. So, but probably they say our name was on the trophy a little bit, and we were able to look, and it's a great achievement that was for the club.
The referee has indicated that there be a minimum of 2 minutes added on time. 2 minutes added on time.
Who would you say had the biggest impact on your footballing career and why?
Tough one. My dad was great to me in a silent way. He wasn't a boisterous, like all loud mouths, but he took me everywhere, he worked hard. He was he was in the building. He'd knock off early. We'd never miss a game. At home, he wouldn't go so much. I mean, right through my career from schoolboy, really 10 till right till I finished. Really, I don't think he missed a home game, and so he was a great influence for me. And football wise, I mean, they were difficult to say. Really, I mean, I a lot of respect for nearly all the managers that I played for. Really, I had my run-ins. I was a bit of a lad, really, but played under some great non-league managers, Stan Staunton at Telford, and Graham Allner at Kidderminster. I had 5 years at Kidderminster, which was probably the best football I probably ever played. Those 5 years. So I'd say those sort of people, really.
Like many non-league clubs, Hednesford have experienced their fair share of challenges and struggles over the years. Some of these challenges were even as early as pre-World War II in 1937. The Pitmen suffered from different financial problems as they almost went bankrupt, with the club even being unable to pay to travel to away games, and in February 1938 a letter of resignation was sent to the league. However, by the start of the next season, Hednesford Town Football Club was reformed and the club was saved. Then, as the club became more successful, interest was starting to build from some of the bigger clubs in the area, such as Aston Villa and Wolves, who have both bought players from Hednesford and continue to have a good relationship with the non-league side today, often competing in pre-season games with each other. Hednesford were relegated 3 times in the space of 8 years, entering the 9th tier of English football. However, because of a vacant position in the league, that relegation was reprieved and they remained in the 8th tier. During this time, in 2023, problems appeared as Hednesford faced a very real threat of extinction. Following their relegation in the 22-23 season, the club resigned from playing in the 23-24 season as a whole for a short while, as plans of a takeover had fallen through at the last minute, leaving instability throughout the club and not a lot of time left. This was when ex-vice chairman Hayden Dando stepped in and saved the club with limited time left, and then played the season that they had previously pulled out of. At this time, staff, players and supporters all rallied together and played their part in keeping things going, just showing the resilience and the determination to help the club's survival, highlighting its importance to the working class local community. How did you find the transition from player to manager? What were some of the challenges you faced?
I think hindsight, I can speak 20 years on after the thing, but at the time, it is, you still, because you're still sort of playing, I was player manager. So it was, it's difficult to say really. You don't think about it too much at the time, you know. In hindsight, there's a lot of things you would have done differently, but yeah, it was exciting, really. You know, it was a great honour, really, and it was you know, like, it was difficult, but you know, the first year, you know, we got promotion. Really, I managed for probably 9 or 10 years at various clubs, you know, and with, you know, managing's difficult, but with the Hednesford, I was probably harshly judged there because the only 12 months I had in charge ended up in a promotion, which people seem to forget, you know, which I'm very proud of, really. I mean, you know, it was via the playoffs, but, you know, it was difficult, but I was still playing, so it probably, you know, it wasn't, you could influence games still, really, especially the first year and that year that we got promoted. When you pack up all together and you stood on the touchlines, you know, it is a bit more, it's out of your hands. You know, all you can do is prepare them as best you can, and you know, like but it's out your hands. So, you know, but it was very tense, very nerve-wracking experience managing. You know, it is not good for the ticker.
Did you have any inspirations when it came to your managing style?
Well, I think again you draw back on all the methods and the managers that you've played under and take little bits off each one, really. But you're only as governed really by the, you know, your budgets and what type of player you can bring to the club. You know, like really, wherever I went, I never had great budgets, so you're relying more on man management and motivation, really. I wasn't a great coach, you know, like, or, you know, I didn't any of my badges and that, like, but, you know, you just used to prime. I used to prime as long, I just wanted everybody to give everything. I was similar to myself, really. I gave every game I played, you know, you used to pride yourself on giving everything you got. And that was like my philosophy with football, really. It doesn't matter how good you are, if you don't work as hard as the opposition, you know, that was the biggest thing I tried to install into my sides.
As a player manager, how did you manage the thinking of a player and as a manager, and how did you differentiate?
Again, you know, it's experience. Experience is a great thing, and you draw about on situations, you know, how you were spoken to by managers or what they would do in that instance, and your gut feeling is you know, you're learning on the job, really. That's what I was saying. Like, now I look back on it 20 years ago, some things you would obviously it's a difficult one because, like, now you can see why in the professional game now, and they go back to people like Moyes and Allardyce, people with experience always get linked with jobs, but, you know, experience is a massive thing to fall back on. I'm all for, like, giving youngsters a chance at anything and that, like, but you can't beat experience managerial, I think.
On a more positive note, recently, new owners, Craig and Amanda Gwilt, have managed to bring back the stability on and off the pitch for Hednesford, and the club have started to rebuild, gaining promotion to the NPL Premier North Division, which is step 3 of non-league, and is just 1 league below the National League North/South, and is 6 leagues away from the Premier League. They gained promotion through the playoffs, where they beat Congleton in the final in the 2024-25 season. Also during this season, the club also reached the first round of the FA Cup proper, which they lost in a thrilling encounter to Gainsborough Trinity. This FA Cup run turned out to be very beneficial for the club, as the club managed to get a lot of money from ticket sales and TV coverage, etc., which they used to keep improving the facilities at an already above the league standards Keys Park. Hednesford invested in new technology such as the new electronic scoreboards and advertising boards, as well as investing in a new hybrid pitch, which is 96% grass and 4% 4G, which is the most advanced pitch in the country, even bettering the likes of Manchester City, Tottenham Hotspur and Everton. Renovations have also finished on a new tunnel and dugout, which Hednesford Town's head of media, Penny Gibbs, was kind enough to give us a tour of the new facilities by taking us behind the scenes, as well as telling us about her role at the club.
So this is our player tunnel, fairly new, all themed in 1880, which is when the club was established. Just very nice, professional kind of entrance really for our players, so that they feel special, I guess, when they come here. All fairly new done.
How long did it take to make?
What, this corridor? So it was a good couple of weeks' work. There was obviously just brick behind from the old tunnel. They had to put all the framing in and boards in. These are lights behind, and then there's like a mesh. It's pretty special, and it's a lot of people like the look of it. So, and then round here we've finished more recently. So we've got a couple of cool little lights, and of course the badge, nice central point. So we're now just where the home and away team come. So we might not be able to go inside with the doors being shut. We might have to come back and see. This is where they can obviously help themselves for any drinks. We can have a little sneaky peek in the gym. Hello! We've got a team working out on the rower. This is just for our home team. They've got their own programmes on the mirrors. They come in here to warm up before a game. Some have got like treatment plans if they're injured or preventing any injury, and they'll come and do it that couple of times a week in here. Normally the music's a lot louder as well, so you're very lucky that it's not blazing. Quite a unique feature for a non-league club to have this kind of facility, and it's a decent size as well. I think they're having a meeting in there, so I don't think they'll go in there now. Let me go and show you the dugout. Hello, are you okay? Oh, I'm going to come back and do some high fives. I'm going to film them. I'm good. Are you all right? Yeah, good, thank you. This is Pitmen Pete. He's our official mascot. So with Hednesford Town being named after the Pitmen back in many years ago, our mascot is a pitman. He used to work down the pit with his pick and his lamp. It's always nice to have a mascot with the club and get to see all the kids and the mascots, don't you, Pete? So this is our world level kind of pitch. No other pitch has got it, anything like it. Everton's the closest. But what you don't see here is all the advanced technology underneath the actual grass. It's fantastic.
Calling it the non-league Wembley.
The non-league Wembley, exactly. It's pretty like one of the flattest as well. It's all the technology underneath. You know, the harvesting of water, and it all gets recycled, so they can control the temperature. It'll never flood, it'll never freeze over. It is the best quality.
Pink lighting was for on the pitch, on the social media with all the.
The pink lighting is for natural grass because it's 96% natural grass, 4% artificial. But the pink lighting we've used for years. That's to help the grass kind of survive, and it's like keeps the energy there and keep the right levels for the natural grass. But we've used those for years. We still need to do that because, like I say, it's still 96% grass. Very, very proud of it. And when away teams come, it's very unique and special for them as well. And we're not shy. Very much stay off the pitch. You're not allowed on the pitch. What else we've got here? So we're quite advanced here because we've got an electronic scoreboard in the corner. We've got all the LED boards around the perimeter. It's very unique at this level to have that amount of technology. We'll go in the dugout now quickly as well. So this is the home dugout. The manager, assistant manager sits here, our coaches, And normally on the back, we've got the other subs that are waiting to come on. We've also got, what's quite unique about this club is we've got an analyst who analyses our players. So after a game, they're kind of like checking every pass, every move, but they also use that skill set for any opposition that they might play. So they kind of got hints and tips of how they might play that game. But also if they're looking for a new player, they've got all that technology to advance. So it's quite, I couldn't go into any more detail because it's way beyond my knowledge, but very, very unique. But if you want to have a see, you're very welcome to. Yeah, all padded, all sheltered. The away side is exactly the same. And you'll see during the game, obviously, that how they're working and stuff. So, yeah, all pretty unique.
Can you also explain a bit about your role?
Yeah, so I'm the media manager here at the club. It's a fairly new role for the club. I've been brought in just for this season, just to kind of get the team up to shape, look at what kind of comms we're sharing, get it all consistent with the brand, looking after the reputation of the club. So I'm often writing press releases or website articles. We've got a whole team of volunteers that help on the day. So our announcer today, Tim, you'll see him later on. He's a volunteer, he's been here for lots of years, obviously announcing the scores and other important information. We've got match report writers, photographers all on the pitch. So I'm kind of looking after everybody really on the day and making sure that all our media outputs are professional. When it's not match day, we're here at training, doing interviews, chatting to the players, getting the fans excited for what's to come. Sometimes there's some difficult conversations or difficult decisions the club has to make. So I kind of put that sensitivity around it and make it sound professional and look after it all. So, but very busy role, but very varied. But you do get to have a laugh as well, so that is quite nice. The other bits which you can go and have a look at yourself is up the club shop, which is just here. We've also got a fan zone area in that corner where there's food and more toilets. Because we're doing some extra work at the moment called the Keys Corner. There's going to be a whole new fan zone section there, so the prep work is in for that. So we're a little bit reduced on space at the moment, which is why we're kind of pushing people to that kind of corner to do all that.
How do you feel about Hednesford Town's recent success?
Well, it's amazing, they very nearly went under, really, like 1 year or months from ceasing to exist, really. And now they've come across, they've probably got one of the wealthiest owners in non-league. So they're in a fantastic position. The fans have come out in force. They're getting bigger crowds than they've ever had before. I mean, when we were playing in the conference, we'd barely scrape 1,000. They're blowing it out the sky now. The crowds are incredible. I mean, it's exciting times really for the club and the area. They've got big plans and. I think they're really, they're trying to get into the dream is to get into the Football League, and, I know it's a long way. It might take a little bit longer than they're probably hoping, but, I think it's a definite possibility now.
What do you think of the improvements happening off the pitch as well, with the improvements?
Again, it's it's not all dead money, but you need the things they're doing, but they've got ambitious plans and they're very sensible. They've got good people running the club and big ideas. With improving the ground, the pitch is amazing. The changing rooms, everything is like first class. Like no stone unturned. They're in a good place, really. So a lot of pressure on the management and the players too. To get results. Like sometimes money brings different type of pressure, so, I mean, they've just got to be careful they don't self-implode a little bit and, a little bit of patience, and I think that they've got every chance of achieving their goals.
And they might be very safe.
They're safe.
So, if I'm not mistaken, you're now the manager of the Cross Keys pub in Hednesford.
Yeah, I've been here 28 years. You know, it's like half my life really. So I mean, it's yeah, I don't own the place. A lot of people think I own the place, but no, I just run it for other people. Yeah. So
how did that come about?
Well, I was at work on the building. And it was getting difficult to play at a good level when I got to about 27. And so to work on the building and then play at the top of non-league, it was getting difficult to take it out of me a lot. And so I went into I run a cricket club where I played locally. And it was like an apprenticeship here. And then I had worked for the people who own this on the building, and the situation came about. So, you know, like, yeah, I mean, it was a big honour, really. It's, you know, it's again, like with my connections, you know, it was a great, you know, and I've been stuck here ever since. I hadn't planned to be here this long, but you know, it's too late now for me to do anything else, really. I'm stuck here, really. So.
And finally, for the people that don't know, would you mind explaining the link between this pub and Hednesford Football Club?
Well, the ground, I mean, we sat in here. This was the old boardroom. This is like our function room at the pub. And the downstairs toilets were part of the old changing rooms, and obviously the ground was on the back of the pub, and so it was always the first port of call for the fans. When the clubhouse only had a tiny clubhouse there, and so this was the home of, you know, the fans always gathered here. You know, they still do now. You know, like we still, you know, we do. You know, we're very popular on match days. It's a big part of this pub, really. So, and it has been for, you know, like probably 100 years, really. So, yeah, it's, you know, it's quite, you know, nice to be part of that, you know, that history. You know, when I look back at it, when I finished, really, I'll be, you know, proud of it, really, to have played and did what I did football-wise here, and running this, you know, still, you know, a massive part of the football club, really.
Thank you again for this opportunity. It's been a pleasure to get to interview you. There were some really good answers in there. It's been great, and thank you for your time.
No problem at all. Thank you. Good luck.
All of this has proven that both the town and the club won't be going down without a fight, and is showing that despite all the challenges they have faced, they are now on the up. Hednesford have undoubtedly got the best facilities for a non-league club in the country, if not the world, and have now got an owner that wants the best for the club, and only time will tell what they will do in the future, and I guess we will have to wait and see, but it is definitely shaping up pretty nicely.
One of his Warrington fans, ball comes in, and it's in there, it's a goal! It's 1-0 Warrington Rovers, and that's number 2, it's Clive Smith.
you come to me. Give me everything I need.
The ball in the centre circle. Gibson it back over towards Montel Gibson. Gibson takes the ball up.
Call you when I need you, my heart's on fire. You come to me wild and wired. You come to me, give me everything I need. Give me a lifetime of promises in a world full of dreams.